your wife's feelings while disagreeing with her. Well, that's easy, Nick. I have a whole post all about validation, and I'll link you to that right after this. Validating her feelings has absolutely nothing to do with whether you agree with, like, a topic. So, like, if she was really anxious about your kid driving for the first time and you are not anxious about it, you would think to yourself, what have I ever been anxious about? How did I feel? Oh, that must be how she feels. And you'd be like, oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry that you're so worried about this. You're a good mom, and, you know, and I love you, and you're such a caring person. Like that. You don't, feelings have nothing to do with what's going on. I mean, you know, I help women with this all the time when they're like, we have sex like once a week. What's his problem? Like, why would he be disappointed? I'm like, because it doesn't matter what you think about it. That's how he feels about it, right? He feels that he wants to be closer to you. So in that situation, she feels like she's anxious about the kid driving. You don't think it's something that you would worry about. She doesn't think she would want to have sex more than once a week. Those things don't matter. You want to, like, respect that the other person is separate with their separate feelings. You know, people are good at doing this with their kids. Like, you don't have to agree that, like, your daughter's 7th grade friend drama is, like, really important in the world, but it's important to her. So you would say, oh, I'm sorry you got excluded today, right? But that doesn't mean you have to think that it's something to cry about. She thinks it's something to cry about. So people who struggle with this validation never really received it as a kid. They got dismissed if they had any feeling that the parent didn't think that they should have, even though, like, nobody should have any feeling or any other feeling. It's the same as anytime that men think about that a woman should or shouldn't have a feeling, then they should think about how they want the woman to act about their sexual desire, which their wife doesn't think they should have. Nick says, to clarify, when she's mad at me for something I don't think she should be mad about, how do I validate that while disagreeing? Well, see, Nick, I'm teaching you a different way of looking at it. There is no should for whether she should be mad. It's like saying you should be, want sex. You want sex as much as you want sex. She's mad when she's mad. You're sorry that she's mad at you, right? I mean, you don't wish her to be mad at you. So empathize with that, with the feeling. You know, and if you, like, what do you mean she, like, people say this all the time, should be mad. Like, what if she was very happy about something? Would you say she shouldn't be happy about it? What this means is that you struggle a bit with being defensive. So a lot of people do, men and women. So I'll link you to stuff on being defensive as well. I have a lot of posts about this exact thing. And remember, in your own therapy, if you're in it, or you should get into your own therapy or couples work, they would talk about how feelings were treated in your family and how conflict was treated in your family. So likely, if your parents didn't think you should be mad at them, they completely shut you down. And so now you do that. And so then you're never going to convince her that she shouldn't be mad at you. Never one time in the history of the world has one person convinced another person that they shouldn't be mad. Just like how your wife can't convince you to want less sex. She can't convince you. She can't show you statistics on averages, and she can't tell you about testosterone levels over time, and she can't tell you about this or that, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, you're right, I don't want to have sex after all. Same thing with her being angry. She's having a feeling that relates to her. So you got to empathize with that feeling instead of trying to convince her not to have it. You know, that is a fool's errand, because it will never, ever, ever work. And I'll link you to a couple things after this. Actually, I'll post both of them on the main page. So follow up the main page. I'm going to post a couple things that'll be very useful to you, okay? All right, well, good questions, Nick. If you're not in the secret group, you should join it for more discussion. Thank you for everybody for following. And remember to listen to the Dr. Psych Mom Show. Go back to the main page where I'm going to post some resources. And for Nick on empathy. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great day, guys.